So respected Director of the seminar and the Principal of the college, Dr. Jayashree Veerakasige, and the learned friends, and the teacher educators from the different parts of the state, and my dear teacher trainees. It's a great opportunity for me to interact with you regarding the qualitative expansion of the education. Yesterday, I think the resource persons have already discussed related to the inclusion or the inclusive practices in the higher education, especially after the 11th plan. We are giving a lot of importance for the inclusive practices, and there is a need, it's a high time to think about the qualitative expansion, because we have seen a lot of quantitative expansion in our country that I can see in the form of these statistics that I will show you in the next slides. Now I think we need to think of the qualitative expansion in the higher education and also the teacher education, because probably all of you might know in the new education policy 2016, shortly it may come, in that it is clearly mentioned that the quality of the school education depends upon the quality of the teacher education, they have said. In order to improve the quality of the school education, that should start from the quality improvement in our teacher education. That's why it's high time for us to think about the quality improvement, both in higher education and the teacher education. From that point of view, just I will try to discuss some of the aspects, some of the measures that have been thought over by the UGC and the other committees in our country for the qualitative expansion of the higher education in our country, including teacher education. The higher education, now teacher education is also a part of the higher education. From that point of view, I want to give a brief information regarding the initiatives and the special programs that have been launched by the UGC and the other organizations in our country, or the other committees which are recommended. I'll bring it to your notice. Some of them have been already implemented and some of them are yet to be implemented. So we are also a part of it. As we are involved there, we are a part and parcel of the higher education program. We need to implement these programs in the teacher education. From that point of view, you can see here, the development of the knowledge economy is a prerequisite for the advancement of society and the nation at large. So knowledge economy is important. It's not only the economic development, we need to improve the knowledge economy, because most of the advanced countries that we are seeing today, they are developed with their knowledge economy, not only by their economy, we'll see that. So knowledge economy is priority now. That's why we need to think of though access and equity is important in education, we are thinking about the access. It should be accessible to each and every person who is there in this country. And that is what we are having in the school education as universalization of education. Even in higher education also, we have to provide higher education to majority of the students who come out of the school education. But today we are seeing hardly only 15% are still remaining in the higher education. So those who join at the primary education. That's why access is one of the important things. Another is equity. Providing equal opportunity to each and every one from the different categories. Those who are not able to get education for many years. So we need to provide education for all of them. But we see quality of education that is considered paramount compared to any other thing. It's not just quality expansion. You can see the quality expansion in the higher education system in our country. So universities in 1947 there are only 25, but in 2015, the statistics which I got, so there are 802 universities in our country now, we'll see that. And the colleges, which were only 700 at the time of the independence, now we are having about 38,000 colleges in our country. Now it may be slightly increased in 16 and 17, 16. Up to the end of 15, I think we are seeing only 38,000 colleges in our country. And the teachers who are only 1,500 in higher education, during that time, now we are having 5,25,750 teachers who are working in higher education, including teacher education. And the students who are only 2 lakhs at that time in higher education. In colleges and universities, totally it was 2 lakhs. But today we are having more than 1 crore 56 lakh 25,000 almost. So that much students we are having. From this table you can clearly see that there is a larger development in terms of the quantitative expansion. Larger development in terms of the quantitative expansion in our country, in terms of the higher education compared to any other country in the world. We will see that. Large number of colleges, large number of universities, teachers, everything that we are having today, we will see that. But we can't say the same thing in terms of the qualitative expansion. It's only quantitative expansion. But we cannot see the same thing in terms of the qualitative expansion. That is why there is a need for the qualitative expansion that we have to see here. It's not working.
So keyboards are well run. The keyboard are only.
ಸರ್ ಶಿಕಾರಿಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ. We are seeing there is a need to improve the excellence in the system of higher education. Mainly to enhance the frontiers of knowledge and for the cultivation of the values in the education system, we need to see the quality improvement in our education. It requires a multi-dimensional effort. It's not possible only by the government, it's not possible only by the private institutions. All of them should come together to see the qualitative expansion in the higher education system. But in spite of this, we are seeing a lot of quality deficit in number of areas. In number of respects, there is a quality deficit in the higher education system. That's why it is essential that there is a centers of excellence need to be nourished and expanded. There are very few centers of excellence in our country in terms of our universities or the institutions. We need to nourish those institutions which are having excellence, and we need to expand these excellence in our institutions. And another thing that we are seeing, colleges enroll the vast majority of students in higher education, promoting a culture of excellence. It requires recognizing colleges as the sites of creation and not just for dissemination of ideas. That's very important. So what most of the institutions are doing today is just the dissemination of ideas. It's not the creation of the knowledge. That is what we see with the NCF after the constructivistic approach. In the constructivism, we are giving a lot of emphasis on the generation of the new knowledge. We should create our children as the creators of new knowledge. So our institutions, what we are seeing today, most of the institutions, colleges and the universities, they are awarding degrees, they are just disseminating the knowledge, we will see that, but they are not creating the new knowledge. That is why still we are borrowing knowledge from the